Hello, citizen of the world. Welcome to channel. You are one step closer to become a front-end expert with this video. In this video, we're gonna take a look how you can use imperative handle hook. This is a bit more advanced to comparing to use state, use effect, use memo, and use callback even. This is a hook that you have may not be see before. Use imperative hook can be used with forwardRef only. You have to use forwardRef in order to be able to use this hook, and it allows you to export or expose actually a method within the child component to a parent component, and you can access that method with a ref with from your parent component. So in this example that I have here, I have a child component that I called scrollable list, and it has a 1000 element in it, and I am mapping through these list items, and I just render out the item 1, item 2, item 3, as you can see here. And what I would like to do is, by clicking this button here, I would like to scroll to the next item, and I would like to highlight the currently active item with a border red. So in my index.tsx, I have commented out the React strict mode because it renders twice since we are in the dev mode, and in the CSS app CSS file I have these stylings. You can pause video and take this CSS and write it down if you are going to code along with me. And app.tsx is a regular functional component, as you know, and I have this scrollable list here. And within this scrollable list, as I said before, you have to use forwardRef, and I wrapped my component with forwardRef, and I passed the type, and I am exposing a start method from this component. I'm gonna be able to access that start method with the ref that I'm passing from parent component to the child component. And here, what I do, let me show you the example first so that you can understand better. Once I click the button, as you can see, current item is increased by 1. It scrolls into that view, into that item, and changes the class name here, as you can see. So if you take a look what we are doing here, so this is the usage of useImperativeHandle. You are passing the ref that comes from the parent component, and I have a local ref here that I passed to the list ref in order to be able to find the a current item within the list and change the class name of that item. I have a current index ref where I keep track of the current state, current number of the active item. Here I have a state called magic box. I'm gonna explain to you guys in a bit. And besides that, you are passing a ref in to this child component with the same type we are created here. These types should be the same so that you can access, and TypeScript won't throw an error to us in order to keep everything smooth. And if scrollable list ref current exists, we are calling the method. And within the scrollable list here, I have, as you saw, this scroll to next item function where I handle my business logic. And I have a use effect hook here where I call define current item in order to be able to give the initial kick to the app where first item will be highlighted. Since I have to increase the current active item index by 1 on each click, this is the logic I am applying. Initially, keep the first item with the active class. I gave it to -1, the current index ref -1, so that this is gonna be increased by 1 when use effect calls it, and it's gonna be a 0, so the first item will be active. You don't have to wrap within use callback. This I just did it to try it out, to be honest. You can remove, it doesn't matter that much, but the thing you are doing is more expensive than what I do here. Then you might need to wrap it out, and it's totally up to your scenario. And here, when I call define current item, it returns me the 0th item, which is the first item in the array, and I'm putting the active class to it. And when I try to scroll to next item, I want to be able to remove the previous item styling. So I am accessing that item's previous element sibling and changing the class name to be just like an item. I'm adding the active class to the current item, and I am scrolling into it with behavior smooth. So this is actually quite a simple example to how to use. What useImperativeHandle does is, again, let me summarize it. It helps you to expose functions or methods to your parent component, and you can access that with a ref by passing a ref from parent to child component. Here what I do is it's just a simple example, and there are much more complicated stuff that you can do with this. Most of the things you are doing with useImperativeHandle, you can do with useEffect and props, but it's gonna cause a re-render and that's gonna reduce your app performance. So if you have a large app and you have to be careful with re-renders, you might need to work with refs. In that case, using useImperativeHandle can be handy. And I'm gonna show you now what this magic box does. And as you see here, like there is no glitch at all when you go to the next item. But if the current item plus one is equals the fifth item in the array, then I'm gonna set a state here, as you can see, then this is gonna be causing a re-render, which you will be able to see with the help of my React dev tool right here that I have in my Chrome as an extension. So I'm gonna scroll into item 5, and if I come item 6, as you might have seen, there were some kind of a blue borderish something. Let me refresh and scroll, 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 scroll. Now, if I zoom in, you might see the glitch here. I'm gonna do it again just to make sure you guys see that. And I hope that you saw that. So when you do the whole thing with refs, it doesn't re-render and it handles very performant way. But if you set a state, since this is gonna cause a re-render, then your app performance will might reduce depending on the largeness of your app and the complexity of your app. This is how you can use imperative handle hook. You need to pass the ref that you are getting from the parent, and you're gonna expose a method in a callback function here. You can pass a dependency array as well, as you can see, but in this case, we don't need it. You might need that depending on your scenario in your app. By the way, this is how the magic box state sets the background, as you can see. And you might even fetch data if you want to, it's totally up to you. Like, this is completely depending on your application scenario. This is it for useImperativeHandle hook. If you want to see how you can use useImperativeHandle hook in React 19, I'm gonna be sharing React 19 features in the upcoming videos. If you want to see useImperativeHandle, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I might give a priority on that. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.